In this video, we're going to be covering one of the most often misunderstood or frankly not even used features of ChatGPT, which are ChatGPT projects. Once you figure out how valuable projects can be, it's going to change your entire AI workflow. I guarantee you. This is my favorite feature of ChatGPT, and it's the one that is most misunderstood because it seems so simple, but there's a lot going on under the surface. And if you stick to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your own project to build your personal brand. I'm going to give you a custom GPT, which you can use to generate instructions, which you could then load into a ChatGPT project for your personal brand. And it's super powerful, and you can create endless content around your personal brand, all from that one set of custom instructions. So let's jump right in. What are projects? Well, why don't we ask ChatGPT? So here's a breakdown from ChatGPT. Projects are a great way to organize and manage your work inside of ChatGPT. Instead of every conversation being isolated, projects give you a shared workspace where ChatGPT can keep track of context, files, and goals across multiple chats. Think of them as lightweight folders or workspaces for different initiatives. So you can have projects for every area of your life. I have one for my main business, all my side projects. Every client has their own project. I have personal projects. I have work projects, you name it. I try to have everything organized in projects because it keeps that context together inside the project. And that's the most important feature, is that there's persistent memory within a project. So ChatGPT remembers the discussions, the files, and the context inside the project, and you don't have to keep re-explaining everything. You can also upload files directly to a project, and this is really important. And this is the part that I see people misunderstanding or misusing, where they're creating projects, but they're not uploading files and they're not uploading custom instructions, which we're going to get to as well. So some of the benefits of projects is that it keeps long-term projects organized. It lets ChatGPT act more like a partner who knows the background. It reduces repetitive explanations, and it centralizes everything related to a project, such as chats and files. Now, the big question that I often get asked is, how are projects different than custom GPTs? The main thing that custom GPTs have that projects don't is that custom GPTs can be shared and projects cannot yet. Now, I really hope this is a feature that ChatGPT is going to add eventually, even if it's just on the team plan, because we are on the team plan. I hope eventually we will have the ability to share projects, because that would be another game changer. But for now, if you are looking to collaborate with other people inside ChatGPT, there's a slight advantage to using a custom GPT, but there's also drawbacks because you don't have the same persistence of memory with a custom GPT. It's sort of like you train it once, you'll let it go. Multiple people can use it. Based on that training data, it's going to do what that training data was taught it to do, but it doesn't have that persistent memory that's going to learn from every chat as it gets used. And so it's not going to have that same sense of improvement over time. Projects, on the other hand, as you load up those projects with more chats and more files and you update your instructions, it's going to learn and evolve and adapt. But the drawback is you can't share it as of right now with other people. So if it's a personal thing that you're working on, or it's something that only you're going to be using, I do think projects are still far superior to custom GPTs because of that persistence of memory. But hopefully this is helpful in determining if you should be using a custom GPT or a project. One final thing I'll say about the distinction between custom GPTs and projects is that projects are a lot easier to set up. Custom GPTs have to be trained. There's multiple steps. With a project, you basically create the folder, you load it up with instructions, you load it up with some files, and then the more you use it, the more it learns. And that's pretty much it. But enough talking, let's actually jump in, and I'm going to show you how to create a project that is going to be used to help you develop your personal brand. Everything that you want to create around your personal brand, whether it is YouTube video scripts or whether it's social media content or a book or a blog post or whatever, you can do it in this project, and it's going to be custom to you. So the first thing I would do is click here on the sidebar and click new project, give it a name. I'm going to just give it my name, right? This is going to be my personal brand. I'm going to create the project. And here you see we have several options. First of all, something you might not even know about, you can change the color. So I'm just going to change it to blue. You can also change the icon here. Not a big deal, but I'm just going to pick this little earth icon here. And then the most important thing is right here in the corner, it says add file. So this is where I can add documents, code files, images, and more. And then this project can access the content whenever I chat inside the project. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up some PDF documents that basically are tied to my life, my personal brand. It's like my marketing framework, my biography, some information about my business, Earnworthy. I'm going to load that up into here and then we'll be right back. Okay, here you can see I loaded up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 documents. Now, the more you upload, the better. I'm not sure what the limit is, but so far, from what I've seen, you can upload a lot of different project files. And the more context you give it, the better. So for instance, since I want my personal brand to mostly be about business content and the stuff that I do at Earnworthy, I've loaded it up with a bio. I've loaded it up with my main framework, which is the essence of everything I've learned over the last 15 years in marketing. I've uploaded a messaging guide that I created using ChatGPT a while back, which is the messaging for Earnworthy. So the entire agency has different messaging for different parts of our business, from our software called Amplify to our academy, which is launching soon, to our agency services, and that's a separate document. And all of this took time to build, obviously. This is the most important part, right? You need to understand what you want this thing to help you generate content about. So you have to put in the work to create your bio, to create different messaging guides and things like that. And if you want to learn more about how I created these specific documents, let me know. I'd be happy to make a future video about this. Just let me know in the comments below. I also have my overall pricing for Earnworthy. So if I wanted to ask this project, hey, what's the pricing for our software, it's going to know because it's going to have that context in the project file. So load it up with the project files that you have that are tied to your personal brand. If you don't have them yet, that would be the first thing to do, is start creating your bio and some of these different messaging documents. And keep in mind, you can always come back and upload more of them later. You can replace documents, so you don't have to have it perfect at the start. Just start with what you have for now. The other thing that's really important to do with projects is to click here in the 3 dots in the upper right and add instructions. So this says, how can ChatGPT best help you with this project? You can ask ChatGPT to focus on certain topics or ask it to use a certain tone or format for responses. Now, this is a little bit tricky to come up with. So what I did is I actually created a custom GPT which helps me generate these instructions specifically for a personal brand type project. And you can actually access this absolutely free. It's on the GPT store. All you have to do is click the link down below in the description. You will be able to open it up and then just click build my instructions, and you'll see what it's going to do. It's going to ask you questions, and then you just have to answer those questions. And then when it's done, it'll give you the instructions, which you can just paste into your project that's tailored to you and what you answer. So there are quite a few questions here. I'm going to go through them and I'm going to answer them real quick, and then we'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead. I spent maybe no more than a few minutes filling out those questions, and I just use a voice to text on my keyboard where I'm not even typing this out. I literally was just talking to my computer as I read the screen. I've said my answer for number 1 is blah, blah, blah. My answer to number 2 is blah, blah, blah. So you don't have to spend too much time on this, but the more you personalize it, the better. So now what I have are these custom instructions, and I'm just going to copy the 2 parts here. So first is what you would like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses. And 2 is how would you like ChatGPT to respond. Now, before we paste these in, let's just do a quick gut check to make sure they look good. Building a personal brand, focus on simplifying marketing. Great audience to local service businesses. Looks good. My goals are to use ChatGPT as my second brain. Casual, no fluff, no generic AI speak. You ready to help? Yep. Okay, that looks good. So we're going to go back to the project here. And remember, we are pasting these in. I'm going to paste it in the instructions right there. I'm going to click save. And now we are all set. So now what we've done is we've added those initial project files, which give some context to pull from. But then more importantly, we have the instructions which tell the project what you would like it to know and how you would like it to respond. So now let's test it out. Can you write a short bio for? See what it says. Here's a tight X-ready bio that you could use, pulling from your core positioning and keeping it clear and approachable. Helping local service businesses grow smarter, not louder. Creator of the multiplier framework. Founder at Earnworthy, Port St. Lucie, Florida. Marketing systems over random tactics. That's pretty cool. That pretty much sums up what I do in a nutshell. Let's take it a step further. Let's say come up with 7 short posts I can post on Facebook that pull directly from concepts I talk about in my frame. See what it does. Okay, people, if your marketing feels like shouting into the void, it's probably because you're talking to everyone. The truth, if you're for everyone, you're for no one. Start by getting laser focused about who you serve. Give them a name, know their struggles, speak their language. That's when your messaging sticks. That's pretty spot on. Delete the junk. Your customers should get it in 5 seconds or less. So I won't go through all of these, but I can already tell this is doing a really good job of taking content that I uploaded and using the custom instructions to give me exactly what I'm looking for, that's on brand, that's my voice, and most importantly, it's my content. It's not like it's just randomly coming up with stuff. This is stuff that I put a lot of thought into over the years, and now it's all in one place. So imagine the power of projects when you can load it up, train it one time, you can improve it over time, but then just by the more you use it, as you create chats inside this project, it's going to iterate and get better over time on its own. So that's the power of ChatGPT projects. There's so much more you can do with them. Hopefully you're using them. Let me know if you are, or maybe this is the first time you've heard about them. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you want to get more AI and marketing tools and tips every single week, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you get notified of all the new videos. And I'll see you in the next video.